can pretty much play anywhere on the field. It's a fit. I just don't know for how long because I don't know. They're not going to be able to pay him. It's going to be like one of those Ndamukong Suh deals. It's like 1 year. They might have to like throw like extra couple million on his current contract to make him feel welcomed in LA. And then he might take some type of a discount long term. But him, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, you got the tight end Gerald Everett.
Well, essentially,
young nucleus there.
Essentially, Odell moves into the Sammy Watkins role of being both the deep threat and kind of like the mid.
He could take a slant 60 yards.
10 to 20 yard range.
He could take a slant to the house. That's how good he is.
I mean, they're both similar players in the fact that they're both very fast, great route runners, good acceleration. But Odell probably has better hands and a better catch radius.
Definitely has better hands and a better catch radius.
And
Sammy Watkins.
Watkins probably is a better blocker, I would say.
Yeah, and less of a mental head case on the field.
Yeah, exactly.
He won't fight Josh Norman.
Exactly.
Yeah, Beckham will make some spectacular plays. But also, I think because he has a young head coach, like Robert Woods is a pretty professional receiver. Cooper Kupp's a young slot guy. Like
my thing with
the egos on that defense will probably check him. Like Akib might come over and be like, "Let's talk." Odell.
My thing with adding Odell to the Rams is, yeah, he's a great target, but like you said, he wants $20 million. So how are you going to pay him $20 million? Aaron Donald $20 million. Jared Goff's going to need an extension in 2 years, 3 years. Gurley's going to need an extension in a year or two. And then Peters is going to need an extension in a year or two. So that's a lot of money you have to dish out. Even when Suh and Talib and those guys come off the books, you're still talking about paying like elite players elite money.
And LaMarcus Joyner has to get paid too, even though you put a tag on him.
So
somebody might match that offer next year.
So when you look at the draft class this year, there aren't a lot of elite receivers. None of them are as good as Odell.
Not even close.
So I don't mind giving up a first round pick this year. I'd have to look more at next year's draft class to see kind of if he's worth 2. But even then, I'm hesitant because it's very rare that receivers. It's been a long time since a receiver's been traded for 2 first rounds. I think maybe Keyshawn Johnson was probably like one of the last ones. I don't know, just off the top of my head.
The Niners and the Ravens, that whole Eagles trade, where it was like between the 49ers, the Eagles, and the Ravens almost got T.O.
But did they give up 2 first rounds to get T.O.?
Nah, they gave up. I think they might have given up picks, but yeah, Keyshawn was like, really, we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna trade a first and I think a second.
No, I'm pretty sure they gave up 2 first rounds.
Yeah, so
I'm pretty sure the Bucs did to get him from the Jets.
Yeah, I think they had to give up additional picks to like a later round pick, but that's tough, especially when the Rams really need linebacker help, and this is a linebacker friendly draft. It's like, do you really want to miss out on 3 or 4 guys who could start in your defense for the next 10 years? Or at least the next 5 at a really cheap rate for Odell?
And, I mean, I get what the Rams are doing. They're trying to build up their arms before they move into the new stadium. They're trying to make a Super Bowl push and really put a blockade on the Chargers, as well as...
Especially the Chargers.
As well as, take advantage of Jared Goff while he's in his rookie contract before they have to pay him $20 million a year.
And take all that energy that is being lost from the Raiders leaving California and really snatching hold of it. Trying to convert some Raiders fans to LA Rams fans. Ain't that right, Pete?
Yeah. But the reality is you already gave up a second-round pick to get Watkins last year. You gave up a second-round pick to get Peters next year. Now you're talking about effectively giving up a first-round pick this year and next year, and you didn't have first 3 picks last year? So you're really cutting down the pipeline as far as, like, building a foundation. Like, there's only so much you can do in free agency in the middle rounds of the draft.
Yeah.
Like, the Rams got really lucky with that RG3 trade in that they were able to get a bunch of first-rounders and really kind of build a culture. And really, I mean, Aaron Donald was a steal. He was, like, the 10th overall pick.
13th.
Something like that. You don't usually find a generational defensive tackle that late in the draft.
The Raiders took DJ Hayden.
Not in that same draft.
Wasn't that the same draft?
No. Aaron Donald's Khalil Mack's year.
Oh, yeah, it was. It was like either or. But, yeah, the Rams had like 2 first-round picks in multiple drafts because that Redskins traded.
But what I'm saying is that you're really cutting off what has gotten the team this far, building through the draft, and you're essentially going to cut off that pipeline. So I don't really like that idea so much. So while we're on the topic of the Rams, we've already touched on this a little bit. They officially got Ndamukong Suh. It's something we've been talking about the past couple of weeks.
Oh, God.
And there's a lot of talk about his fit. Some people have even said him paired with Aaron Donald might be the greatest defensive tackle tandem ever. And we actually have a video from Willie McGinnis, your boy, USC alum.
Smartio.
Yeah. NFL Network.
Let's play.
Former Patriots.
All-time postseason sack leader with 16.
You didn't hit the school sound, but it's cool. It's Kenny's first day on the boards, people.
Yeah,
so.
it's been a while. So, let's call it. Class is officially in session.
All right, so you're going to play the video or what?
Yeah. It's a scary combination.
Has there been a better tandem in your mind? Can you think of one, like a one-up?
I can't go through history, but that's one of the best. As far as interior defensive linemen playing together, that's definitely one of the most feared, twosome you're going to have playing against each other. So teams are going to have to figure it out. Offensive coordinators are going to be up at night trying to figure that out.
That's like, look at Aqib Talib, and Sue have had their issues, and Peters have. They've had their issues. They've had their negative press, the stomping of people and the chain snatching. Are the Rams the new Raiders?
Nah.
The Rams the new bad boys?
Nah, I love Talib and I love Sue. They'll be all right. Sean McVay runs a tight ship. He lets players be opinionated and be themselves, but he also runs a tight ship with structure and discipline, and they're going to respect him. They're going to love playing for him, and it's not about 1 or 2 guys. They understand.
Yeah, so me and Kenny both looked at each other sideways when he compared the Rams to the Raiders.
I was like, he's not Jack Tatum.
Like,
I'll see a Willie Brown.
What a lazy comparison by that TMZ sports reporter. But yeah, thanks for the audio, TMZ Sports. So
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, it was McGinnis who said that.
No. The reporter asked him, "Are the Rams the new Raiders?"
Yeah, but the fact that McGinnis didn't check him, I'm just like, better.
Yeah, because McGinnis knows better than to even mention the Raiders out of his mouth. So,
Tuck rule.
So a lot to digest there. Kenny, is first off, is Donald and Suh probably the best defensive tackle tandem that we've seen? Second of all, is there going to be issues managing all those personalities?
It depends how much he respects Wade Phillips.
That's actually a great point. That's the point that I was going to make because Sean McVay actually made a great quote. He was like, the defensive coordinator probably has more swag than all those dudes, so I'm not really worried about it. Which is a good point because if you follow Wade Phillips on Twitter, he's a funny-ass dude.
Yep, and look at his family and his dad. So it's like, yeah.
And
Wade's got this.
And he's traditionally coached players with both high upside and both big personalities, and he's been able to manage that.
Yeah.
Because I think he's smart and he's well liked and he's adaptable. So
that's what's interesting though. I think it'll really depend on the linebackers that they get in this draft. Because if the linebackers are doing their jobs, or at least holding down the fort, I think Suh won't be as pissed off. Because it's like, think about it. When he played in Detroit, he was clearly far and away the best player. He's never played with another D tackle who was really all that competent. Nick Fairley, he was pretty much carrying him along. And Fairley didn't really live up to his potential with Detroit as much as he could have. So you factor that and the fact that the Jets pulled their offer, because realistically, why the hell would he play in the 3-4 and Mo Wilkerson's not there? Like, no one's there off that defense. That'd be stupid.
I mean, the Rams are a 3-4 defense.
But, like, who was there on the Jets defense? They're
Leonard
built.
Williams.
That's it. Who else?
It's pretty good. I would take Leonard Williams.
Yeah, but he's young.
He's not really young anymore.
He's pretty young.
He's entering his 4th year.
He's still pretty young. He came out when he was like 21. He's what, 24, 25?
Yeah.
Suh's like on the other side of 30 almost.
I think he's 31. I think Aaron Donald's like 26, 27. So
yeah, but he still has like another 5 years left. Like, he's barely entering his prime now. Suh's like, I want to win now if I'm going to take a pay cut. Because, I mean, let's be honest. He's never played with a better defense. Like this, if you told me like, yo, so I'm going to put these corners together and these two defensive linemen together, you're like, that's the Pro Bowl. No, that's actually an NFL roster.
Well, I think they're going to really rely on Suh to be their run stopper.
He can rush the passer, too.
No, I know he can rush the passer, but Donald, that's his primary role. And as we said before,
Brockers is just going to eat double teams.
They don't really have linebackers. So if Suh is going to be playing the nose tackle, he's the one who's going to have to, like, move laterally and kind of hold his gap and eat up space.
But I feel like that's kind of a waste of Suh's talent. Like, why would you just have him play nose? Brockers can play nose. Brockers is probably better suited to play nose than Suh. Suh's more athletic than Brockers.
Yeah, but for whatever reason...
And you think about
for whatever reason, it's probably going to be Suh playing nose tackle. One technique, nose tackle.
That's such a waste for a guy. He has Hall of Fame ability. Like you said, probably one of the greatest guys ever who might not make the Hall of Fame.
No, I said most paid guys to not make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but still, one of the most talented guys to ever play D-tackle. Like, he has all the skills.
And you combine that with Donald, who's only getting better. I think the closest I can probably think of is probably... I mean, maybe...
Old Patriot defenses, maybe?
Maybe, or... Because even when I look at, like, okay, like Seattle, they had a committee.
Denver?
San Francisco had a committee. Denver had a committee.
Ravens?
These are 3 guys who are legit starters.
And they're all on the defensive line.
And they're all pretty much Pro Bowlers.
Except Brockers.
And then they have solid guys behind them with Westbrooks and Dominic Easley. So
yeah,
they'll still have a good rotation.
And you have Barron. Barron's probably the only guy back at linebacker because I don't think Connor Barber's there, is he?
No, he's a free agent.
So, yeah, you have Barron as the only guy back there as a coverage guy in the middle.
But the Rams' run defense was really their Achilles heel, so I think that's really what they brought in Suh. Yeah. They're just going to have him be disruptive and kind of...
That shifts the whole dynamic.
Get in the backfield and kind of...
That's why I think it's better to have him rush as like a 5 technique or just head up on the guard, and you can kind of mismatch play how you want it. Because... Darren Donald's faster than a lot of NFL defensive ends.
Maybe like...
So he can play on a left tackle or right tackle.
Okay, hear me out on this comparison, and I know it's probably wrong, but I'm just going to throw it out there anyways. Sapp and McFarland?
Nah, McFarland wishes he was Suh.
That's what I was thinking, but at the same time, Sapp is better than Donald, so...
And the drop
maybe they're kind of in the middle.
There's no Derek Brooks. I mean...
No, I'm just saying as far as defensive tackle tandem. I don't think Stroud...